folks, this is Darth Rabbit 07 coming to you today with another new figure that was totally unexpected but is hitting CMD store pretty hard and heavy. I'll put a link down in the description below there. Silverbolt's in, guys, so we're going to get him on the turntable. Before we get him on the turntable, make sure to like, share, subscribe, all the stuff down below. Thank you guys again for subscribing, watching, and participating and help my channel continue to grow. Let's turn this around and take a look at Silverbolt. Coming across the space bridge from CMD store is none other than Silverbolt in all of his cardboard glory. I love the artwork. Was not expecting this to be coming this soon, but a lot of other folks have already got this in. Stuff and things you can do. You get 27 steps for the anniversary. Long overdue update to this guy. Let's get him out of the box and see how cool he really is. Actually, I forgot to do this, but pause and scan here. This could be turning up in stores any day now. A lot of new stuff is coming in red hot. And I wanted to take a closer look at this artwork, as the artwork is really crazy awesome, but he's like wolfed out a lot more than he is birded out. And then same thing on the side of the box. He looks like he's part Wookiee there, part Sasquatch or Yeti maybe, I don't know. Looks really kind of crazy. Now let's get him on the turntable and take a closer look at Silverbolt. And here is Silverbolt on the turntable in the closest form of art or life imitating art. There's that. And let's take a quick spin and take a look at this. And I gotta say, guys, the thing that bothers me the most is this beast mode. I can't put my fingers on it right away until I actually pulled out the old school OG version of him, and once I get them side by side, I do believe I have actually figured out what bugs me the most about this beast mode. And it's the fact that these are bigger. Well, the tail feathers are definitely bigger in that category, and it's tied into a function here to launch those feather missiles I don't want to do right now outside because I don't want to go losing the missiles. But yeah, there's no more. This actually articulates. This articulates, but then it reveals the head, and it's not long enough. I don't really care for that. The other thing, looking at the back side of these wings, is a serious lack of paint on this portion of it, and they painted the whole thing back in the day, so they surely don't make them like they used to. And this right here in this left hand should be an upgrade over this, and this guy's still solid even to today. They actually did the hands on the insides of the legs so you can't see it there, and the hands are on the outside of the legs on this one over here. And when you keep going around, I mean, this I don't think can really be helping. It doesn't really bother me as much as the whole, it's not big enough. And they upsized the body to a Voyager. This is a deluxe, and they kept the deluxe sized wings. So I think that's what really bothers me the most about this beast mode. That, and the fact, I get why they didn't articulate the head back in the day, but this head is stuck in a static pose. The only thing it articulates is this chin. And while this one looks good on this side at this angle, and has the sprue, I mean, back from its day and time, fixed mouth, this is unacceptable in this day and age where the head's totally fixed. I mean, and you get a holy, gappy, yucky, awful waffle, and the awful waffles just keep going throughout, guys. I mean, it just doesn't fail with this guy. This guy looks more solid, and like I said, has that form and function where if you do that, it's going to launch those wings and moves it forward. This whole gimmick still works, but I'm not going to do this on camera. I'm just kind of making a point there. Oh, the other thing that makes me mad, well, they didn't, I guess in the sake of everything, I see why they didn't do the rest of the paint there, because they didn't do it back then. But I mean, that's just lazy. Where there's detail, there should be paint all the way through and throughout. That's just kind of, I don't know, not cool, man. For the higher price and stuff back in the day, deluxe, I want to say $9.99, $12 altogether with some tax or what have you. This guy was definitely worth it. Don't think it was worth the price I paid for at the CMD store, but so grateful that CMD store does get the stuff in, ships it really quickly. They don't beat around the bush. So there's pluses and minuses. And if you look at the underside of the wings here, let's go ahead and get this up here. You can see the differences in wings there. I just can't stand those awful waffles. I like this fur detail right here, and I like the fur detail on the old one too. But anyway, there's that stuff, guys. and we'll get these guys transformed and get them into robot mode and do another comparison after I focus on that. The articulation's way severely limited. Oh yeah, that's the other point of contention I don't want to get moved on from. I can understand that they had awful waffles and that kind of thing back in the day, and this was state of the art even over the G1 stuff back in the day. But for it to retain this and get worse on this side is just unacceptable in my book. I mean, this is ugly, guys. Totally ugly. So, and he's got a hole in his butt, and he doesn't have a hole in his butt, but if you open that up, you'll find that's where the head is at these days. And just, I feel still not like totally satisfied with this newer version. Now with that said, I think that's all the other kind of quirks and stuff and things. We've looked at all the angles and stuff. And you got ears laid back and ears standing up. So I feel that the wings could have been so much better done after seeing the last few versions of Air Razor, the filts that I didn't get to pre-order the other day. I think that is a weak point of contention. So let's get this guy into robot mode and go through his articulation and stuff, and then we'll do a comparison in robot mode in 3, 2, 1, and... Something I absolutely adore is these OG rub cymbals that if you just shine it in the sunlight, you can see it just getting bluer and bluer and bluer by the second. That is something really, really awesome. Oh well. And here is Voyager class Silverbolt in his robot mode, looking really good. A lot better than his beast mode counterpart. There's how he cleans up on his side. There's how he cleans up in the back. And there again, I think that my feelings is pretty much straightforward and on about the wings being just a little bit too small. You can spread them out and get a flight mode, but I mean, I just don't know, you know, how that could go there. And I feel like with the head, with the articulation here, it's definitely suffering. It's like they needed to do something to give it that up and down movement so that he can't get those flight poses. But that is as far up as you're going to get this guy to look. So I mean, it's almost a brick. It doesn't do anything for me. I thought that they would fix this, you know, with this new release. With that said, with the wings, you can articulate them back that far. You can get them closer and get them a little bit longer like that inside of the robot mode and soar a little bit. But you're not going to be able to look up at all. He just looks straight down, which is it's just a major bummer. I don't know if I can shave or pull any of that off of there because it looks like it's got a ball in there, but I don't know. We'll have to take it apart and look at it and then decide if it's worth the trouble or not, or just wait for the third-party kit to inevitably come along. Because when you do get the full T, you reveal a great deal of under waffling with the mid, or these mid wings, and there's some even right there on the base wing there. So I mean, that's not cool. And then you got waffling on the missile feather dusters that we'll get into later when we get to posing him. He does got wrist at the he's got wrist articulation, which that should be a standard thing, but the waffling doesn't need to be here on an updated figure like this. You got double hinge at the elbow there that you can get that for either transformation or whatever you need there. It does come undone with that other joint, so I mean, you got that much. And you do get a nice upper bicep swivel going on along with that wrist swivel, and all the way around you can pull these wings back like that and get all the way around on that joint there. So that shoulder's done well. It's like something's done well, then other things are not done well. He does get all the way around at the waist, which is something the original figure didn't, and in doing so they don't do that split thing like the other one did. It doesn't wrap around the head. The actual alt mode head is inside of the back of his back there underneath this head. It's kind of crazy how it does all that. You get that, you can get the full Van Damme edge there, bam, and you got even an upper thigh swivel. All this stuff like this should be, you know, standard for any of the Transformers makes this day and age. And then so you get, there's a click joint there. I don't know why it's a click joint there, but you get that much at the knee. God, that thing is stiff and tight. And then you got another for the, you got that other bend for the going back into beast mode there. Down here at the feet and ankles, you get that much this way, that much that way, and you can undo that and get that much down, but you don't get none up, just the way it's designed. There's got to be a better way of doing that as well. And then when we get into this little bit right here, Then you can see all the ugly waffling. Even this part is waffled out and hollowed out. I don't understand. I really don't realize why that's a thing with the newer figures. I still feel that this tail, even though it does get up out of the way of the waist, it should be another, these should be articulated, or there should be another hinge there or something that folds on up into this robot mode. And it should be bigger, like, and then fold up. So anyway, it didn't happen like that. And so we're gonna get the OG out here and get a comparison going. And of course there's the OG with the new one, Deluxe, Voyager, and smallish wings. And these are big for Deluxe wings. So I mean, we'll just go really carefully right here, because he doesn't like to stand up as good anymore. He's old, guys. I mean, he's 25 years old, so if not older. So there's all that and stuff. And then you got the tail function that still does its thing when you go to pull up on it, and it'll launch those missiles off into the wild and the stuff. The tail feathers are bigger. God, yeah, you can even see it right there. There's where I have the issues with the beast mode and some in the robot mode. It looks definitely better in robot mode versus that. These guys actually do shoot out and come off and become swords. So these don't shoot off, they just untab. And the really weird thing, now that I've done it like this, is those swords are actually too short for this Voyager mode, because they're about the same size, if not even smaller than these guys. Oh man, I just don't understand any of this at all. You upsize the body, but don't upsize the wings and the tail feathers. And if you're giving up gimmicks, then you want to give this guy the articulation and the wings and everything that it deserves. Grateful that the robot mode does got the core concepts down, even right down to the waist swivel, the wrist swivel, and all the other accompanying articulation. These wings are still not as good as even like the Air Razor or Pterosaur wings. These are just, and the paint lacking. This is not cool, man. Let's get Silverbolt into some final thoughts here, as we need to wrap this up. Some final thoughts. I wanted to love this as much as I did the Tigerhawk release, but as it is, the robot mode is far cry better than what we get in the beast mode, which is very, very unfortunate for this day and age. The figures should have a combination of stuff and no waffling whatsoever. That is the weakest part in my eyes. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but then this would be a good update if you don't have this original character here. But if you got this guy, you may not want to pick that up. And I think he really does need like a DNA kit or a do-over. I'm just really, really agitated at this point. I feel like his mouth could have opened up or what have you. The head needs a bit more articulation. There's just a lot of stuff here. I wish they would really consult with folks and do some testing before they actually just haul it out and call it a day. It feels very shortchanged, and I hate reporting that or even, you know, reviewing it like that, because it is a markup over this, but when you omit the gimmicks that this one had, boom, there's that. So I'm hoping that, like, in the spirit of the G1 Optimus that everybody's raving about, especially the folks that went to TF kind of got a hold of theirs, I hope we do eventually get the gimmick version with the articulation that this guy seriously didn't have at all. Thanks again for watching my channel, guys. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, all the stuff down below. Thank you again to those who have subscribed. That's about going to do it for Silverbolt here. Thanks again for watching my channel, guys. Y'all have an excellent day, excellent week out there. Until all are one, guys.